I'm Margaret in Windsor, and if anybody's followed me on YouTube or Facebook, they know without me putting out photos and everything, which I've done since really the kidnapping of Alexis Murphy, which was done on the 4th of August of 13, a little over a year ago. And there's a connection to that and what I've been telling about murders done by mind control and the agency doing, etc. I've told about my kidnapping in 41. I found out in 83 when I ran in a political campaign and was flown out to Larry Flint's because the person that shot Flint was programmed to shoot and kill his attorney and shoot him. So therein lies this whole scenario. My kidnapping, my father's forced takedown, and I was kidnapped in 39, brought to Moulton, Alabama, given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married Childers. Both twins were dead. They were illegitimate, born out of wedlock, and their mother had killed them. It was a pigsty. Later, I wrote the book about mind control, 76 to 80, and I won't get into all that happened to me, but I've put it on other tapes. What I want to get to now is after I was out at Flint's, and I had worked for the district attorney in Huntsville, Alabama, and all this, for doctors, I ended up on the side of the road and ended up in on top of the Appalachian, on top of Flahart Knot Appalachian Trail here in Troutville. I walked it year in and year out, winter, summer, freezing, sleet, the highways. Everybody saw what happened, and I'm going to quote this one, and I hope they don't mind. There's a place right across the street from where I am here in Troutville. Now I'm back here, at least for today. There was a gentleman, Lovett, or Lovell, I can't remember, that just a couple of blocks up, he had a gas station and Exxon, and he had a good garage. Virginia State Troopers were always parked there, so he fixed their cars. They usually had several cars. Well, his wife, the only time I ever saw her, it was winter, and like I said, I was kept penniless. And I went in because he would have donuts and coffee, and he would let me listen to this. He not a pun on him, but it's almost like allowing me to have a crumb to eat. His wife was sitting there, and she handed me $2, and she said, "It's not that people don't know about you around here; they do. What's happened to you, but they don't want to get involved. They're afraid of repercussions." Okay, it wasn't too many years later, that something happened, and the Internal Revenue come in and were doing all his books, etc. I'm giving you this to show you how people crumbled when the FBI and law enforcement who are involved in all this come in and get things on them and offer to make deals or drop the charges if they'll help in what they're doing to me. That's property owners, that's the maintenance guy, and I don't know if they call this witness protection program, and you have to watch it when you say that, because back in Atlanta, I knew people that stepped out of the federal witness protection program, and they were shot the next day. So I don't know where my children are. The reason they've done it is because of my name and taking down my father and the kidnapping, and then I wrote about the mind control. What I want to say now is, before this goes off, everywhere I've gone since '86 has been controlled. Like, it's toxic. Like, I'll have one room like I have here, and I pay for it. I get money now, and I pay for it. But I'm moved around, made to move. I'm allergic to chemicals. I'll say it again. I have an immune disorder, and you have to inhale. And when you're in close quarters here, you can imagine what happens to me when I'm force-fed it. So I'm not going to get into how and why. Why I've told you, because it's political, and to get stuff on people. But I'm going to mention the maintenance guy here. He's actually set up shop while somebody's supposed to be on vacation. And it's like this big joke to do it all to me. I thought I was dying last night with the fumes that poured out of the air and heating unit. And it's when I don't even have it on. And, of course, I can't get an attorney because I tell you what an attorney would do with all this. I've tried to get them. And the next day or a couple of days later, the attorney would up and leave town. So that's how high up it goes. I'm going to mention the man who just won the election, and that was Bob Goodlattr. I've been in his office here in Roanoke, and he totally knows about me, my kidnapping, all of it. He was over the National Forest Agriculture Department back when I was out in the forest, and that means he's over the rangers who are law enforcement and food stamps, agriculture associated with it. But now he's also over chairman, I believe, of intelligence and something else. So I have to wonder why this is still going on, being done to me. My illness is being used against me. Now I want to get to this. I mean, last night I thought I would die. I stayed here 3 months because I pick up and go, and Carl Barton was the state trooper here, retired, that told me, and I saw it, and I tell it, and people tell me I'm lying, just laugh about it, because no law is going to come in and arrest them. That this is how we make you move, is with chemicals. So I'm just going to focus on this one. I've asked the maintenance guy here, Brent, I believe is his name, 3 times to check on the air and heating, which is a joke. He's not going to do it because they've gotten to him before I ever came here, and the owners. But nobody will do a thing. They're afraid of law enforcement. So I went over this morning because I was so sick, and the maintenance guy is over there now at the desk all the time or in the morning. He came out, met me outside, and he started calling me. I simply asked him, would he check the air conditioning? He hadn't checked it. I'd asked him 3 times. He's checked it once. Now then, before this goes off, he called me names. He accused me. It's unreal to have to stand and take it. So I went back and talked with the one man who seems in charge, and I thought, well, he didn't raise his voice. He was low-keyed. But when I thought about the text of the conversation, he had started asking me, why should I have to look for another place? I paid to live here and be treated with a little decency and breathe fresh air, not be soaked in chemicals. He started asking me, well, don't you have a family here you can stay with? Why was that brought into the conversation? If an attorney had this, there wouldn't be any of this going on. They would make such a joke out of them, and they would be arrested for assault and battery and everything in the book. Then he told me that the woman that lived in this room, she lives next door to me now. I thought, well, why did she move? You know, she's an elderly lady. The first room I moved in, and I moved to this one, I started having trouble in there after a few days, and nobody had lived there for 7 months. So that tells you something. So this has all been one big joke, while my kidneys and lungs and my children, I don't know where they are. I haven't seen them since really 1980. They air to the crown just like me. So why, when I simply try to get clean air, I don't bother anybody. I can't even get around hardly. I can walk, and I could walk a lot better if they'd cut off the fumes and everything that are deliberately put in here. Why do you bring in, don't I have family I can stay with? I'm paying them. I get around. I take care of myself. I go to the grocery store. Nothing like that. So they're bringing in things that shouldn't even be brought into a conversation. I'm answering to them. And I want to say this, the Shaws and the Patels were written up with John Edwards, state senator here, and Mark, he just won. Now then, Mark, he just won the Senate race here. I liked them, but they totally know about me. And Kane, was governor here. He knows. It goes that high up